Hey, before we watch the video here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. What's up?
Hit it. Don't just flick it. Don't just do a little ping. You gotta
you see that little bell down there? That indicates that a new video is coming out. So make sure you click that as well. It's the only thing that really keeps us going here. We're almost at 5 subscribers. We're gonna come up with a 5 subscriber special.
Yeah, Cam, I've been to talk to you about that. You keep saying, that the little bell button has to happen.
The bell button.
Turn on the notifications, Cam, and I gotta be honest with you, no one's doing it. No one's doing it.
No, people don't like the notifications.
Who is turning on YouTube notifications? What is the end? What's the end of a YouTube notification? Like, what's the end goal?
So you do not miss a Jake Paul video.
Yeah, but if you subscribe to the channel anyways,
you want to be first. You want to have that comment on YouTube that goes first in the comment.
If you subscribe to the channel anyways, it's going to put that video at the top of your page anyways.
Here's one. Okay, here's a secondary thought.
Okay.
I used it for live broadcasts of a guy that I listen to because he goes live and then you can interact with him.
Okay, like a live chat.
Yeah, a live chat.
And this is who that you're doing this with?
Luke Thomas. MMA analyst.
Luke Thomas, MMA analyst. To the stars.
To the stars. To the stars. Yeah, but that's the only one I found value in. Don't smash that thing on anyone else. I think the live thing makes sense because you're not going to get any idea otherwise.
Yeah, unless you know that they go live at the same time every single week. Or, if they're every day at 10 and you can kind of set your own watch to it. Without it, you're like, oh shit, they're going live now.
Right, so it's set an alarm upstairs, set the Google Home reminder, my Apple Watch, my Garmin watch, my regular watch, just have all 3 lined up.
Because you're trying this thing out these days where you have one of every of the kind of companies that provide a wearable technology in the hopes that you can kind of maybe get them to fight each other. You want your Apple phone to maybe get into Siri on your Apple phone to maybe get into it with your Hey Google. And then maybe they can fight long enough that Alexa chimes in and maybe you can get them all kind of arguing.
Jealous of each other.
For supremacy.
Who's stealing more data.
Exactly. And then Garmin...
What do you know?
Garmin tries to peek in there. And then...
that's cute. You know his browser history? I know his heart rate when he has sex.
Probably gets shut down. Because you're doing this new thing where you're wearing your watch all the time. You don't take this watch off.
Well, I got multiple watches, so this one doesn't actually track any data. But the wearables I found were a little bit too much. I don't know if you've worn any wearable tech.
No, never have.
It's it's cool and exciting for a little bit, and then you realize you're just always looking at it and being like, oh, I didn't take enough steps today. I guess I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, I feel like I don't need a watch to tell me that I've been sitting on the couch all day. I can kind of in my mind be like, okay, well, I haven't left the house, therefore I haven't gotten my steps. I don't need the watch to tell me, hey.
The one thing I did like is the active tracking of how many calories you're likely burning in that day.
Okay.
So if you're actually trying to get big and you go, shit, I burned 3,000 calories today. Now I have to eat 5 to 6.
Yeah, and you see, my thing, I would want it to be too accurate. And then anything short of extremely accurate, I would say, what's the fucking point?
Well, you'll never know how accurate it is because you don't know what accurate is.
I guess that's kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a good point. It's a good point that you're raising here.
Yeah, you don't know what other sources do you have to be, oh, I went to a lab, right? I went to a lab for a day and compared it to my Garmin watch. Turns out it's not accurate, throw the thing out.
Well, that's what it is, right? I mean, if it's telling me how many steps I'm taking, is that an accurate representation? Because anything short of perfect is pointless. Put that on a shirt. Anything short of perfect is whatever I said.
If you're not 100%, give up.
Yeah, exactly. either give 110% or give nothing.
No, not give. I mean, if you aren't at 100%, just give up. Right. Hit 98% on whatever you're trying to do. Scrap it. Call it a day.
Exactly.
Give up. Find something new.
If you're not gonna finish off that hundo, then what's the point?
Yeah. Well, speaking of perfection, you know what you're listening to. Perfection in your ears. Kick it! That's a fucking segue.
Continuing tonight on Two Season a Pod, 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com. That's a segue, folks. That's a lot of I guess, like, you know, your courses and the schooling you've been doing, Cam, paying off. You're listening to 2 C's in a pod. My name's Cameron Osborne. His name is Cam LeClaire.
That's me.
And similar to the number of Dalmatians that pesky Cruella de Vil was after, you're listening to episode 101.
Wow, I didn't know it was 100. Yeah, you're right. It is 101 Dalmatians. Haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm an adult.
Maybe seen it twice.
Yeah, I maybe saw it once.
I mean, we saw Shark Tale last year.
But that's a good movie.
I agree with that.
Like,
you don't think
that movie
has
adult undertones, you know, like a
right,
curvy dressed up lead character. You know, there's no curvy dogs in 101 Dalmatians.
Are you talking about Angelina Jolie the fish?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And Robert De Niro playing the big shark with the bulky chest.
Exactly, right? You know, like with an implication that it's, you know, the mob. There's no implication, you know, I don't think. 101 Dalmatians, probably too early for there to be, like, adult themes in it. You know, in the way that Shrek had some jokes for kids, had some jokes for adults.
I feel like if we did a revisit of it, I'm sure we'd be able to find some things.
Yeah, do we think so? Do you think so? Let us know.
I'm not going to.
Let us know. 2seasonpod@gmail.com.
I don't think that's gonna be my go-to for the day here.
What, you're not going to watch 101 Dalmatians today?
No, I think I'm waiting for your reco.
It's a beautiful gray, cloudy day here in southern Ontario, just the way we like it. Nothing says January like no snow and clouds.
Yeah, lots of lack of sun. We're coming. I think we're 2 weeks away from Blue Monday.
And what's Blue Monday?
That's the saddest Monday of the year, or the saddest Monday of the saddest day of the year, as far as people are aware.
Goodbye, Blue Monday.
Reason, because the holidays are over, January's dog shit, and your credit card bill's due.
Yeah, this is where you realize that maybe you shouldn't have spent all that money.
Maybe you shouldn't gone to the ATM the fourth time when you were down $3,000 at Vegas.
Of course, Cam, because you're going back and forth from Vegas these days.
Yes, sir. It's cheap, man.
It's cheap, man. What else do you want from me? It's cheap.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah. So where's it? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you. I don't know. Have you been boosted up?
Not yet. No. I think maybe there was a list at one point, but that's about it.
Well, I'll tell you this. Watch your armpits, because mine and Connor's both hurt like a motherfucker. Because apparently, haven't had this with the first two, but the third one just swells up your armpit. It swells up your lymph node, I believe.
The lymph node.
Sleep on them. Yeah, the lymph node. So I either have a serious cancer, or I looked it up, and if you just look up on Google, try it at home, folks. Why does my armpit hurt? And then the next words are going to be after vaccine.
Of course. Well, you know, I mean, Cam, you did the responsible thing. I think, you know, when something hurts on your body or you feel something new, you search Google. You go straight to WebMD.
Yeah.
And says this hurts, and of course, it's going to give you the two options. It's going to say COVID or cancer.
Yeah.
And I guess you're just assuming that it's the not cancer option.
I like to put in brackets into my searches is like the words cancer on top of it to make sure that it's not cancer.
Not,
you know,
yeah.
that's how searches work, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that's what
Filters it better.
if you put quotation marks around the word,
cancer, yeah.
it only searches for things within that kind of like range or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like scanning for cancer, right?
Yeah, the internet is
Right?
scanning
Just
for
like
cancer.
Right, it's scanning my body for cancer. If it's going to come up negative, no results found, I'm good. Millions of results found, I have a week.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Cam.
Is that how the internet works?
That's exactly how the internet works.
Just
But
landing flat?
But yeah, you made it happen, and your lymph nodes are doing okay now.
Nah, they're not okay yet. They're still hurting.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. This shouldn't have got it. Shouldn't have got it.
Should
have left it. Well, my theory, and I heard this from the CBC, so I can't say it's my own theory.
Are you talking
that as long as
which specific? Well, just so we can put them on blast and put them in the in the comment section. If you're listening live, write in the chat your opinions about your favorite CBC newscaster.
So this one's Adam Carter, reporter from the CBC.
Put him on blast in the comment section, folks. Put him on blast.
He's a Newfoundlander who now calls himself a Torontoer. I question that, Adam. He enjoys a good story and playing loud music. I'm sure you do, and I'm sure your neighbors love you, Adam. You can also follow him at Adam Carter CBC or drop an email at adam.carter@cbc.ca.
Oh, he's got the CBC. That's great.
Yeah, so anyway, he wrote an article saying that as long as USA and Canada and all the other rich countries are taking third boosters, it's just going to make the pandemic go longer because if you look at a bunch of poor countries, they can't afford vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is they just don't get them because we just hog them all.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Don't want to
So do your part. Don't get the booster.
do your part. Yeah, controversial ad campaign, Cam, that you're trying to run. You tried to run it past, elements of, kind of officials and people higher up in power, and you got a resounding no.
Yeah, hate to be called an anti-vaxxer when you're dosed up twice, when you say don't take the vaccine. People love throwing that term around. Did you lose your job because of COVID? You're an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, Cam. That's exactly it. Now you, I guess, yeah, you got the third and you're ready to go.
How's your work doing now that all this shit's locked down?
Well, this is my slow period anyways.
Right?
Kind of like January through March, the work is seldom anyways. And then you bust your ass, April through December. So I'm just stoked. I mean, I've been nonstop since June.
That's great.
You and I had a weekend up at your place. We had a weekend up when we went out east, or not out east, but we went away to our corporate retreat. And yeah, this is actually like the first. I mean, it's Monday the 10th today. This is the first like week and a half I've had off. Actually, I went into work yesterday, and I'm going into work tomorrow. But this is the first like week and a half of actually like we hung like we were finally able to hang shit on the walls.
The Christmas tree. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we hung the Christmas.
You were that late.
Hung the Christmas. I was so busy, Cam.
So busy.
Well, so
forgot
here's
to
the
celebrate
thing.
Christmas.
Life
wait
hack
for New Year's tonight,
folks. Life hack: if you forget to put up a tree between like the 29th to the 3rd of 29th of December to the 3rd of January, there's just free Christmas trees all on the road. If you just go to the bottom of someone's driveway, I guarantee there's a free Christmas tree ready for you. So you can, if you forget, you're good. It's right there. You don't have to pay. Remember, Cam, you had to pay some guy like $90 and he
$90
and he fucking had to wrap it in a thing. He put it on your car for you. No, I can just drag it home.
Yeah, shit, what an idea.
Right? What life hack, folks. So because of that,
can you replant them? Like if you got somehow roots on them, I'm gonna say no.
No.
Like little plants, you can do that, but big ones, I think they have a tougher time.
But because of that, yeah, this is the first week and a half or weekish that I've had off since June. So we just got stuff hanging on the walls. We just kind of finished, those little things. We had all these boxes because Jess's brother is moving at the end of the month. So we were holding on to boxes.
Is he moving onto the streets, saving some boxes for him?
Pretty much. But yeah, well, we were saving on the boxes. He's moving, so we're like, great, we'll hold on to some boxes. That way you can use them. And then it was like a month of him not taking them. So it was like, okay, no, these are leaving our house now. So do you want them or no? So we kind of got those. So it's finally kind of like, the clutter is leaving. Things are up on the walls. Things are up off the floor. So
good feeling. Very good feeling.
Yeah, it's nice because, I was working so much throughout the month of December that pretty much after we
you make
moved,
all the money.
You asked the question. Well,
get it.
I never said I make a lot of money. I just said I worked a lot. So those
volunteer hours.
Those two things are not mutually exclusive, Cam.
Well, good. Yeah, I think today's it for us. Probably just gonna be a big cleaning day. Well, probably for me, I'm just gonna put on my headphones and listen to Two-Season-a-Pod marathon and just clean the whole house.
Interesting.
JK.
Marathon. Maybe at a 1.5 times speed.
Yeah. Do you watch MacGyver at that speed?
No.
Oh, I do.
You watch TV at like a faster speed?
Oh, I watch MacGyver because it's so slow.
Just specifically MacGyver came. It's 45 minutes long. It's not slow.
Yeah, but the pace of it is slow though. It's like if after you start watching it at that pace, you can't go back to the other one because they're like, "What do you think, MacGyver?" Well, what if we grab the electrocurrent and grab the cable of the copper, twist it together with the let's get to we know it's gonna blow up, right? Speed through those episodes.
Apparently so. Apparently that was your 21st century sensibility can't handle the pace of an 80s drama.
If I could put it into TikToks, I could definitely watch the whole thing, right? Just put an episode,
a bunch of TikToks.
If you just a bunch of 5-second clips, and I'll be fine, right?
A bunch of TikToks, yeah.
Yeah,
it could work.
That's the way they should make television these days. Just put it on a bunch of TikToks.
They tried it with Quibi, and then that thing
Quibi?
fucking failed. Quibi was the streaming service with like 10-minute episodes of shows. And a lot of big names of people had a stake and had a show on this thing, and nobody fucking bought it.
I'd never heard of it.
They were thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, well, maybe, you can do more info if you want. But yeah, like Will Forte had a show on it. People were invested into this product. It came out like super early pandemic, probably, not because of the just it was already coming out anyways, and then just nobody fucking bought it.
Are you trying to say they started the pandemic, Quibi?
In a way.
In a way, it's a sickness on its own.
In a way, but at the same, they didn't. But at the same time, they kind of did, which is really interesting.
They didn't. Oh, I watched your Joe Rogan, Tim Heidecker thing.
Finally?
I watched it like the day after. I just haven't told you.
Oh.
Yeah. Holy smokes! Wow, I listened to the whole 8 hours of it.
You did the whole thing, eh?
Did the whole thing. After the 6th hour, I realized that I was watching it again, but decided might as well stick through.
Yeah, I think I noticed it on the second walkthrough.
I can't believe you actually made it that far in. I kind of realized it pretty soon. I'm like, I've heard.
Yeah, it was probably like 10 minutes into the second or like the first loop.
It was the ad. Once you heard the ad, that was the thing for me.
Yeah, there was one thing in particular where there was like, and then at the comedy, we meet at the store. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, wait, we've already had this conversation.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
What a piece of art that is.
Honestly, a piece of art. Check it out, Tim Heidecker. Cam, do you want to get in the podcast this week?
Oh, I guess we should do that.
Let's get into the show by first looking at last week's show. Because we have some notes.
Okay.
Notes. We got some notes. We got some notes. Notes. We got some notes.
Dang it. Well, what do we always say, Cam? If we're not 100%?
It's nothing.
Okay, so I assume there's no notes.
No, the only note was we were asking ourselves our question, the legality of tinted windows on your car. And what the hell does all of this mean? Well, it is true that at least in Ontario, on January 1st, 2017, the government put into, some kind of rule into effect or whatever, which prohibited any aftermarket window tinting on the vehicle's front windshield. The law also restricted side windows and rear window tints to be at a maximum of 30% tint. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Cam. What is 30% tint? Well, I think the answer is I don't fucking know. And I don't think anyone would fucking know until you're pulled over by a police officer. But if you are buying a car in Ontario stock from a manufacturer, a used car dealership, whatever it might be, and that car was made after the year 2017, you can guarantee that the window tint will be under the proper rules and proper guidelines. If you have a car with more than 30% window tint that you owned prior to 2017, you are grandfathered into the system. However,
go ahead.
However, garages are not allowed to do it. Like, if a garage were to do it now, you know, you could pay the guy, but who knows? The cops could pull you over the next day and you get a fine and have to remove it from your car.
So if I said, yeah, okay, so basically it's never going to get enforced.
Yeah, how many people are pulled over a year from it? I have no idea.
What I'm thinking is, I bought this car before 2017.
Yeah, so
as long as you have a car before 2017.
Yeah, you would be grandfathered into whatever system, Cam. But any new vehicles would only have like a 30% tint maximum. Not even a third, not even 33.333%. Just straight up 30.
Gotcha. Okay, that's news. Speaking of guarantees, I know you were talking about that's the last note of the pod?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, good. No mistakes. Speaking of guarantees, I had a guarantee revoked recently, or at least what I thought was revoked. So, Cam, you remember BikeGate?
BikeGate. Who could forget? Who could forget BikeGate?
BikeGate. Remind me what a BikeGate is.
BikeGate was you had offered a neighbor of yours.
No, different BikeGate.
Different BikeGate.
Good reminder. Good remember though. Yeah, bike. That bike hasn't come back yet. I know where the guy lives. I saw him yesterday. Anyway, this BikeGate. Remember when I bought a mountain bike?
Okay. So you bought
February?
A bike in February 2021, and they were like, hey, you know, back order, it'll be here soon. And you're like, great, let me know. And then a month later, hadn't arrived. 2 months later, 3 months, 6 months, and now we're coming up on 11 months. And the story is now continuing. So I call them. I'm like, hey, guys, we're 11 months in. 2022s are out now. Do I just get a 2022 now that I've waited a full year? They go, oh, what bike? I go, this one. You said there was one more coming in last year, and I had that one deposited on. They're like, okay, so we can offer you the 2022 if you pay another $150. I go, well, okay, which one's coming in first? You know, the 2022 is guaranteed to come in this year. I go, sorry, yes, I put a deposit on the 2021 with the expectation that when you put a deposit down, your guarantee is there. And he goes, I don't think your bike's coming in, man. I go, not at all.
He's like, I go, were you going to tell me this or just wait for me to call and be angry? He's like, I'm not certain it's not coming in. And Specialized isn't outright saying that it's not coming in, but I don't think it's coming in. Thinking, what do you mean? He goes, they made a lot of mistakes last year with the pandemic with shipping and like sourcing things. They're guaranteeing it this year. They said they learned from their mistakes. I go, give me the fucking new bike. They're like, all right, should be here in May. So we're total time is over a year and 3 months.
Yeah, by that point, we'll be coming up on 15 or 16 months since the initial bicycle purchase, Cam, and I can't help but think that none of this would have happened if you just bought a Norco instead.
Never. I would never buy that piece of shit. No, Norcos are nice. I'll give you that. Specialized is also a Canadian brand, so haters gonna hate, but I don't know why it takes so long to get from Quebec over to here. I could go pick it up in quicker
you
time.
Could probably you could ride the bike back sooner than it would probably arrive if it was shipped.
I could build it myself at this point quicker.
Yeah, you could just go to Quebec, go to the facility, and just open the box, build it yourself, ride it home, and you would have made it back before that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's another. This one's guaranteed though. I thought there was a guarantee when you put money down. Apparently, you just put money down, and I guess I was speculating. That was like Vegas.
Yeah, I have a purchase on the to be shipped or whatever, and with the lack of everything, you're getting a little sketched out. When I bought it online, it said 2 in stock. I was like, great. I bought it.
That means I have it.
That means it's mine, and I'm gonna go pick it up
now. Yeah.
And then I get the email later, or maybe it was a call or whatever, that was like, hey, only one of them is in stock. I'm like, well, they're speakers, so you kind of need 2. Nobody wants 1.
These are like shoes.
He said second week of January. I don't know. We're kind of hoping for the best on this one. Jury's still out, but they took the money off my credit card. So
as they
the
do.
Money's gone.
I just don't have anything to show for that.
I just don't
money.
have it yet. So now I just kind of have 2 empty speaker stands that are just waiting for something to go on them.
Yeah, I have a whiteboard in front of me that says accounts receivable bicycle.
Yes.
Accounts payable 0.
Yeah, that's I like the option where I don't pay until the product is in my hand.
Typically, that's a good policy.
Where you can order it, and even if they have to order something in, you're like, okay, I'm still gonna buy. I'm gonna put my money down when I see the product in front of me in my hands. I'll do that with comic books. If a store has to order some comics in, they make you put your credit card down, but they don't take the money from you until you come to buy it. It's more of an insurance where if they order it custom for you and then you don't want it, well, they're like, well, shit, we ordered it for you, so we're charging you for it. But the money actually isn't taken. It's not paid for until you have the materials in your hand.
Well, that was kind of my problem with the bike stores. They're like, oh, we ordered it, and I go, I did pay the deposit on it. It's not like you're not going to sell the bike. It's one of the most popular bikes out there.
Clearly, that's why it's not available.
15 months to get. I'm not even going to say 15. I'm assuming 2025. I'll have the 2025.
Oh, it's going to be a great year, 2025.
Yeah, big year for bikes.
Big year for bikes.
Yeah, big year for bikes. Nothing else. Everything's going to collapse beyond that. Meteors are going to hit the planet.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah. Hey, did you watch that End is Don't Look Up, whatever the movie was?
Yeah, we watched that on New Year's Day. I think a lot of people watched it around New Year's Day when nobody wanted to leave the house. Somewhere in that kind of like immediately after New Year's. I think a lot of people checked that one out.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a little bit. It was pretty long. I think I watched it in 2 or 3 sittings.
Yeah,
which I know is like your biggest pet peeve. You're like, how could you ever do that and not immerse yourself in the experience? Because my mind's obviously fixated on I gotta go
fucking
do
bikes.
Just other shit like, oh, the garage could use cleaning. Why am I watching a movie? Shit like that. What's the impressions that you got from it? I heard some people that were like, of course. Here's my recommendation for the week. Get off Reddit. People are just angry all the time, and they just jerk each other off about it. The one thing I saw was people being like, everyone should get super angry about this movie because they did this about the world changing, but not about climate change.
I don't get it.
I don't understand the argument. I was like, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy it. This is kind of the 3rd serious movie that Adam McKay has written, directed. So
it wasn't really a serious movie.
Well, more serious than his previous films like Anchorman and Step Brothers. Like it had an actual
Vice too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is now his 3rd slightly more serious movie.
What's the other one?
The Big Short.
That one was good.
And I think more than anything else, I now enjoy his filmmaking style. Like, when you're watching a Tarantino movie and you're like, this is a Tarantino movie. Or you're watching a Christopher Nolan movie and you're like, this is a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, these Don't Look Up followed in that similar vein from Vice and Big Short, where I'm like, oh yeah, this is now an Adam McKay movie. This is what his movies look like. Quick cuts. There's going to be a bit where a logo or a phrase is drawn over top and you hear like the with an arrow pointing to somebody or something. There's going to be a moment where the audio cuts out very quickly in a like moment of tension. Like he has his own style now, which I think is kind of cool, especially coming from a comedic director. He has his own thing going.
I like that. Yeah. You're very good at identifying these things. I could maybe pick up on that, but I don't notice these specific cues that you're talking about. Probably because I don't watch many movies, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like from
you just, you kind of. I mean, you just kind of, if you're thinking, what are the other Adam McKay movies? Or what are the other Tarantino movies? Oh, yeah, Tarantino does this in all of his movies. Or
well, I know Tarantino does a lot of the
feet
timeline. Oh, feet. Yeah, loves the feet. Big feet guy.
Big feet guy. Big foot guy.
But other than that, blood, gore. I guess that's another theme.
Yeah, things like that. It's really whatever you notice to kind of like connect certain films
enough.
together or whatever.
Yeah, well, I thought it was fun either way.
Yeah.
I know some people probably didn't like it because it had a bunch of wealthy people in it, and people just get angry about wealthy people.
Yeah, I really liked the character, the character that Mark Rylance plays, like the tech guy, who was he was a real fun combination of like he was Elon Musk, Bezos, Tim Cook, and Richard Branson, like all in one. Like, it was kind of like, let's take all of these douchebags who think that they can save the planet, who think they're saving the planet, and make them one character who also thinks he's saving the planet. I did kind of like that, and just the way he kind of talks like he has a lot of autism, but he's also really smart. And I'm gonna save the world one day. It's like, shut up, Musk. But yeah.
All right, plowing ahead.
Want to play a game? Do you have any games lined up?
That's yeah. I always have a few in my back pocket. I got Urban Dictionary Balderdash available. I don't have any like specific ones. Like, what do you got?
Cam, you have to cue the segment so we can cue the theme.
I don't know what you got.
Throw one out.
Thinking of doing?
What do you want to play?
All right. Well, do you have a top 5 or anything?
No. Well, a game that we play together.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Let's find the words that Doomers are talking about right now that we don't know. Pitch them to each other to try and make ourselves more woke. It's Urban Dictionary Balderdash.
AIDS, bum, cum, douche, edge, fap, gimp, herb, ike, jerk, cush, lamp, mac, narc, oaf, pank, queet, re, slor, tilth, uff, vag, walk of shame, zon, yeet, and zuck. Now let's play some Balderdash. Urban Dictionary Balderdash. That's how you announce a segment, Cam.
Thank you. I was working on it. So the point of the game here is, like I said, we find words that we probably don't know. We pitch them to each other in a sentence and see if we can guess what the hell they are. Cam, are you ready for your term?
Ready for it. Let's go.
A Dallas threesome.
A Dallas threesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I hear it in a sentence?
Liam and I experimented last night. We went out to the barn and had a Dallas threesome.
Okay, no help there. I know a Dallas threesome. It has to be like specific. I don't think it has anything to do with sex. Like it's specific to Dallas, or it's gonna be like something football related, something country related, boots. Yeah, kind of like something like that. I don't think it has anything to do with like the threesome element. I think the threesome element is the red herring. So I'm going to say that a Dallas threesome is when you go to the bar and you order like a beer, a shot, and like a something else. Like it's like an order you go to at a bar. Or you have a beer, a shot, and then you get kicked out of the bar, or something like that. I know.
So you might have heard I might read this again. Liam and I experimented last night. We went out to the barn and had a Dallas threesome.
Oh, the barn.
Barn.
Oh, so maybe it is gross and sex, and it's like when you and your buddy tag team a pig. When you like wanted to do a real pig roast. No, I'm gonna say a Dallas threesome is you get drunk, you chew some tobacco, and you ride a horse.
Wow, I think that's just the.
No, I still think the sex. I still think the sex is the red herring. I still think I gotta go down with this ship.
I think that's called the Holy Trinity in Dallas, not the Dallas threesome. No, so the Dallas threesome is when you're having sex in a barn and a grazing cow stands there and watches you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I like your definition better.
So the man-on-man lovemaking, that was the red herring.
Just because I said Liam and I doesn't really have to do with so much.
That's a good point.
I mean,
I should have asked the perspective of the character.
Yeah. Just a sentence.
Wow. Okay. The Dallas threesome, folks. Use it.
I like your definition better.
Use the Dallas
threesome.
threesome in your vernacular day to day. Let us know. twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Have you ever been in a Dallas threesome? Is that kind of like when you're having sex and a dog is looking on from the side of the bed? Is that just kind of like
the worst?
Like what's that called? When you're having
awkward?
sex and then a cat jumps on, or like tickles or like starts licking your toes with their sandpaper tongue. What's that
I think
called?
it's called the end of sex.
That's called debonered.
Yeah.
Okay, Cam, I got one here for you. Are you ready for your word?
Yes, sir.
Your word is lawn milk.
Could you use lawn milk in a sentence, please?
Of course. After we smoke this bowl, let's make a gallon of lawn milk.
Oh my lord. I hope those two are related, but you just said like after we get there, let's have a bowl or let's make a gallon.
Again, the red herring. You can never be sure where it's actually going to take place.
No, after we smoke a bowl, let's make a gallon of lawn milk. Is lawn spelt the way that a typical like lawn mower would be spelt, or grass?
LON.
Oh, so not the way I'm thinking. Lawn milk. I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with bong water. Smoke this bowl, make some lawn milk. I'm gonna say that you use the bong water as a cocktail ingredient. That's my guess. And the drink itself is called a lawn milk.
Cam, that is a very, very good guess, and that is very close. I might even be inclined to count it. So it is a drink containing THC. So it's a drink made by boiling a bong or a bong piece or the stem in milk so that the resin dissolves into the milk. And then you drink that. Does that make sense?
I got something to do today.
It makes it so. Old slobs, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put some milk in a pot, put it on the stove. You're then gonna take your greasy bong stem, put that in the pot, let it boil down. The resin will slip right out. Mix it all around, and you have yourself a lovely THC drink.
I question if that works. But also, I imagine that tastes disgusting.
I don't know. Urban Dictionary did not give a,
I thought these were words we had to experience in the act.
Well, of course. Well, that's why you picked the Dallas threesome, of course. Jury's still out on what the hell it would taste like. I don't know.
I imagine just like kind of gross milk.
Probably gross milk.
Also, does it clean the stem?
Yeah, that would clean the stem because you'd be boiling out the resin, right? The resin has to get hot enough, and then it just kind of slips right out.
Ugh. Imagine taking a shot of resin. Ugh. That's how you puke.
Yeah, I remember one time a guy, this was like back in high school, like, you know, passing around the bong or whatever, and you know when you have you have your kind of hand on the top and you're kind of passing around or whatever, and a guy, instead of like taking a toke from the top of the bong, he goes down to where the bowl piece usually is, and he just like. And then I remember, like, he looks up and we're all looking at him like, what the fuck did you just do? And then just water just starts dribbling down from his mouth. You're like, Jesus Christ.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. It would be one of those real disgusting things.
Yeah, you ask your friends in university to do.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, man. It's gonna be cool.
all our listeners I think all our listeners who are in university probably have no class to go to or just living at 386 Albert Street. And ripping vape clouds all day.
Yeah,
so,
what's up,
try
university students? How you doing?
What's up, university students? What's up? How's lectures? Is camera off for sure.
Camera
Do you
off?
think that's a thing?
Yeah, I was talking to my some of like my younger or like my cousins in high school over at Christmas. Like, hey, so what's this like? what's going on these days?
How does this work?
How does this work? And a lot of the classes you can camera off.
Oh my god, that must just be in high school. Imagine that. Camera off. You're like, I'm gonna play Xbox.
Yeah.
Like all day.
Well, that's what
Turn off your Xbox,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Well, that's what they say about distance learning, right? A lot of these kids are very distant from learning.
Is that a saying? I've never heard this.
No, not really. Just, distanced learning. That's what the whole online thing is called, because you're learning at a distance.
I hadn't heard this before. I thought it was just at home learning.
You don't have kids?
But I guess that's different. I don't. No, I have a baby thing upstairs, and people keep asking me if I have a kid.
What do you mean a baby
but
thing?
that's
Like a crib?
I don't know. It's one of those things that rocks. I don't know.
A little rocking crib type thing? Why do you have it then?
But I think Shan's giving it to her friend who just got pregnant or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like like a baby shower. You have a baby shower gift in your family room, and people are seeing it, going like, "Oh my god, are you expecting?"
Yeah, and we always just say yes and just wait for the reaction.
just wait for them. You don't have to.
Yeah, they go, really? And you go, no.
No.
Just fuck off.
No.
It's for a gift. That's not the way we'd announce it. I've been thinking about that. What would be like the worst way to announce to someone that you're pregnant?
Short of those announcements that cause like millions of dollars of fire damage, short of those reasons, short of
those ones. I was saying like a way that would just like really throw the I think something that'd be kind of funny is just doing it so casually. And it's like, can you go pick this up? It's like, sorry, I have a doctor's appointment. It's like, for what? You're like, I'm pregnant. And just like super casually say it. I think that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess the non-announcement.
Yeah, the non-announcement. It's
right,
like,
where
maybe
you don't say anything until somebody asks. You're not lying. You're just not telling them until
Are you guys planning on having children? Yeah, in about 9 months.
Are you guys planning to have kids? Yeah, probably 6 months. I think she will be here. And, and they're like, wait, what? And you're like, yeah. Oh, I'm like 3.5 months. We're like 3.5 months pregnant. You're like, what? Yeah. You didn't tell us. And you're like, well, you didn't ask.
Am I supposed to say everything?
I guess that's the, where that's like, it's like, it'd be certainly impolite to, well, there is also that thing where it's like, it's impolite. It might be impolite to ask if somebody is pregnant, and when they start showing a little more weight or whatever. I guess if you don't tell anyone, wait for that last possible thing where like only your best friend would be like, hey, we got to talk. You've put on 10 pounds in your belly.
You have a basketball in your stomach.
Yeah.
And you haven't gone to the courts in years.
And you haven't gone to the court in years? You haven't gone to the court in years?
Yeah. You can't hit a free throw for shit. You're 1 out of 10 off the line.
I was watching you doing the 3-man weave the other day, and you could hardly get your passes down. Now you have a basketball in your belly? What's happening?
Yeah, what is going on here? You're lying to me about something.
Yeah, I guess that would be it. The no-tell. Wait for them to ask instead of you telling.
Well, here's something that happened recently. So I have family in Quebec that I don't talk to.
Salut,
Not because I don't like them.
famille. Oui.
Salut, Quebecois. I don't talk to them just because, like, we just, like, we haven't kept up, basically. Anyway, they don't know that I got engaged, and I don't have any social media. So I think the way that they're, and I think this might, like, tumbling upon itself right now, is Shannon posted something about her going to get her dress, and then Eve was in the picture, and then Eve is like on their, I don't know, social media, or follows them. So then Shannon asked me, she goes, do you know a Kim Lindsay? And I'm like, yeah, that's my aunt. She goes, she's trying to follow me. I go, well, I guess the secret's out now. Like, and like, did you not tell anyone? I go, well, no one asked. I can't tell
Nobody
anyone everything.
asked. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Why is it my responsibility to tell everybody everything? If somebody's curious, they just gotta fucking ask.
Hey, I still haven't got a phone call from anyone on that side, and I think that if they found it out now, their responsibility.
That's their response. The ball's in their court. Do they want to know? If you want to know, then fucking ask. If you don't, then don't.
I'd say so.
I'm on your side, Cam.
Yeah,
let's,
give me a shout. Shoot me an email.
twoceesinapod@gmail.com.
Send me a fax. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'll pick it up.
Cam, you just got a fax machine. I can see in the background. Let's move on with the show then, shall we?
Time for MacGyver and Fiverr.
I think it's time for the MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in Five. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in Fiverr. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. Because we only have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver. Which is where, of course, every single week we recap the adventures of Special Agent MacGyver as he travels the world, solving the all the problems that come with from America. I think that's the most important part about MacGyver is that America. You know what I'm saying, Cam?
America. Fuck yeah.
Barely cared about that one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. We have 5 minutes to recap, Cam. I am starting off this week's episode, and then Cam will be following after the halfway point. We're talking episode 17, To Be a Man. Cam, are you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
That's a big yes, sir, from Cam. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we open at nighttime somewhere over the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan. Mac is flying a jet in search of a fallen U.S. satellite that crashed in Afghanistan. It contains a bunch of secrets that the U.S. is scared the Russians will see. He gets followed by an Afghan plane, but he only has 2 minutes to get away. Just then, we see a little Afghani boy, and he's watching his mother be assaulted. Back at the plane, the Afghans fire 2 missiles right for Mac, and boom! Direct hit. But don't worry, because Mac hopped out at the last second and parachutes down to safety. We see our little Afghani boy again, and the man who is beating up his mom leaves to go search the wreckage of the fallen plane. Mac lands and hides his parachute as not to be tracked. Just then, the whole army arrives at the fallen jet, and they spot Mac up on a mountain. He gets to the satellite, where he has to disarm a quick bomb, which is no problem for Mac, but the Afghans are still hot on his trail. Mac takes parts from the fallen satellite and tapes them together to start to make a hang glider for himself to jump off the mountain while the Russians are shooting missiles at him. He starts to get away, but then his parachute gets shot down. Mac gets shot in the arm, and now he's crashing to the ground with the Afghani and Russian crews coming close behind him. Mac hits the ground fucking hard. Right when our little Afghani boy gets there to watch. Mac takes out a gunman on a horse with a rock slingshot, and then he eventually collapses. The little Afghani boy runs to his aid, gets the horse from the fallen attacker. Mac gets on the horse, and they run off before the army can catch up. We learn that the little boy's name is Ahmed, and now we're going back to his house. We also learn that the bad guy from before, who was beating up his mom, named Kali, killed his father, and now he just comes to abuse his mom, I guess. We get to Ahmed's house, and after a bit of convincing, his mom lets Mac stay for the night. Ahmed goes outside to distract the oncoming Kali so he doesn't walk into the house, house. The plan backfires and Callie starts to walk in. Max sees a can of butane that he fires off at Callie. Callie smashes through the window and in the process ends up shooting himself dead. Back at the Russians, they are also looking for Mac because they want to know what was in the satellite. Ahmed tells us that he actually used Mac to kill Kali. That's why he brought Mac here, because he was tired of Kali. Ahmed says something very sexist towards women and their place in society. He leaves the house so his mom can cauterize Mac's bullet wound. That's not a euphemism. Cam, off to you.
She literally uses a poker for a fire, puts it in the fire, and seals his wound by burning him with it, and he just kind of gives a wince because he's the ultimate tough guy with the Calgary Flames hat. So Ahmed's mother, I don't think we ever learned his name, is treating Mac while Ahmed releases the horse into the wilderness with Mac's whip. So Ahmed's mother gives they kind of solve him up, and he's sitting there. He's all fine at that point. And then they need some help fixing the water pump, and this is how Mac's going to get into their hearts. All he really does is find some material, seals up the machine itself, or the pump, and now it pumps again, and everyone's happy, bringing Ahmed's mother on his side. The Russians are still on the hunt for him, and one morning, Ahmed runs home, letting know the Soviets are on their way. Mac covers himself in hay in one of the hay lofts or hay barn type things, and attaches a rope to one of the wooden poles holding up the structure/shed. The USSR/Soviets break into Ahmed's house in search of Mac, where they find that he is not there, but they do find that there are some shackles there or something that is of his, and they know he is close. Anyway, one of the Russians runs into the hay shack, but Mac pulls down the support pole, collapsing it on top of the bad guy and knocking the other out with the shovel. While Ahmed is saying to kill the Russian, Mac doesn't sacrifice, saves his life by not killing him, saying he doesn't need to die. A life lesson for Ahmed. Will this come back later? We'll find out. How much time do I got here, Cam?
50 seconds.
Yeah, the Russian who now has saved his life, who Mac saved his life, has now been instructed that he will be court-martialed unless he can capture him. Mac and the family are now driving a jeep through the hills as the Red Army are blasting anti-aircraft guns at him. Mac finds a large rock with a crack in it and pours water into the crack and fills it with a fire extinguisher, thereby creating carbon dioxide, freezing the crack, causing the water to expand, separating the rock and dropping the rock onto the Russians' vehicle, exploding their vehicle. After that, Mac and the family easily walk to the border until they see the soldier that they once saw before pointing a tank at him. The Russian realizes Mac has saved his life and decides to do the same for him, letting them walk peacefully to the border. Episode over.
Episode over. 5 seconds to spare, Cam. We gotta let the track play through because the track has a certain amount of time. Boom. That was fantastic, Cam. There seems to be a lot of episodes here where the end goal is just to get over the border. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I have noticed that. And the funny thing about the Russians is they can just walk over any border, apparently. So I don't know why that would matter much.
There's like 100 borders with Russia.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's funny because they're like, oh, there's hundreds of Russians out there and they have 2 miles to walk. And then it's like, we're all good. We'll just leave our home behind and nothing will ever happen. And that's the end of the episode. Yeah. That's MacGyver for you.
That's the MacGyver and Fiverr. Remember, this was all pre-Berlin Wall, right?
I guess, yeah. I'm not really familiar with dates.
Yeah. Well, then I guess, Cam, if MacGyver's over, is it time we close this out with our flagship game, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Let's finish it off.
We've done 100 of these at least. 300, 600 headlines we've seen. A lot of those were fake.
And a lot of them are real. Of course, Cam is talking about headline or asinine.
Hey, headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
All right, I got the first one for you, Big Cat.
Boom.
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
Reptile hailed as world's first four-legged snake. Turns out to be just a lizard.
Yeah, you'll hear stories about this all the time, or often where.
Do you?
Where somebody thinks something is something, and then it turns out it's not. You know, where it'll be like it'll be like a record selling like Picasso painting sold for 25 million. And then the next thing you hear about it is, JK, it was a fake, and somebody just made 25 million. So you do hear about these things, every so often, and then it's like, oh shit, it was just a lizard. Now, what I'm confused about this is world's first. Like, we're well aware of evolution at this point and how these things happened. So to say that it's a snake with 4 legs is a very first, like, I'm pretty sure that existed probably hundreds of millions of years ago when, lizards were crawling out of the primordial ooze and onto land for the first time. Right. I think I've heard that before. Snakes used to have legs and then just due to evolution lost the legs, just the way that human beings used to have tails. But we kept the bone. But it turns out to be a lizard. I would want this to be true because I would hope that a lot of money was invested into whatever the hell they're talking about, and then somebody had to head between their knee, or tail between their legs, tail, come up to their boss and hey, so I was wrong. It's hard to say though. I'm gonna say this one's asinine.
This one's a headline, but common misconception, a few mistakes you made there, Cam. Human beings never had tails. Ancestors of human beings had tails. Human beings never had tails.
Yeah, my grandfather had a tail. My ancestors had a tail.
I've seen the photos.
I've seen the photos.
And this is the similar thing where snakes don't have legs, and that's what makes them snakes. Anyway, so the story here is a study in 2015 from Brazil claimed that a 120 million year old fossil discovered in Brazil, dubbed the tetrapodopus, and I'm not gonna.
That was good. That was a good one. And you're not a
Greek,
word. You're not a word guy.
Oh, I can hardly read. Greek for 4-lettered serpent was the first snake to have more than 2 limbs. So apparently they've had 2 limbs before. Anyway, this got reported, in Toronto, the U of T, they got a sample of the fossil, or they got the fossil itself and took a look at it because they went, this doesn't make much sense. And it turns out it was just very poor science that somehow got published and peer-reviewed. And one thing we learned from this is just because it's peer-reviewed doesn't mean it's actually good science. You can get things peer-reviewed very easily. For a start, the skull is more lizard-like than snake-like, lacking the ability to separate bones and swallow the prey whole. Its teeth were also more like that of a lizard than a snake, the latter having cursed incisors to stop live prey from escaping. There's a bunch of other differences. It's just bad Brazilian science. That's right, I'm calling you out.
Take that, Brazil! Go suck one!
Yeah.
Okay, right on. That's good to know. Good, Cam, I got one here for you. Headliner Asinine. Cats have caused more than 100 house fires in 3 years in South Korea.
Oh, easily. I'm surprised that's the number. I could think of thousands. The way those little fuckers jump around, especially around Christmas time, jumping onto... I've seen the videos. They jump onto Christmas trees. They yank them down. Sparks go everywhere. 300 is nothing compared to all the shit they do. Knocking off candles. I would never have a cat in my house for that reason, because I know it'd be in flames. Cat, the ultimate fire starter. Really, the Smokey the Bear should just be have a cat ringed up in its throat and going, see these little fuckers? Kill them. Headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. This is a story coming from the Seoul Metropolitan Fire and Disaster Department in South Korea, where officials have said that cats have caused 107 house fires in the last 3 years, and that pet owners should be on the lookout. The majority of these fires and the increase in recent years are due to the rise in electronic touch stovetops and ovens, and that cats are jumping onto these electric stovetops, turning them on accidentally, and then fucking walking away. Once these things overheat, there is a chance that they can catch fire to anything that kind of is surrounding on the area. 4 people have been hurt in these fires, and just over half of these fires were caused when the homeowners were not even home. A lot of new electronic stoves and ovens have lock functions, and owners are encouraged to lock them up. And of course, the problem isn't exclusive to South Korea either. The American Humane Society says that every year pets are responsible for over 1,000 house fires just in America.
I'm not surprised. And that ends our segment on cats. Get rid of them.
Cats, get rid of them.
Thinking of buying a cat? Kill it. All right, Cam, moving ahead. Radio Shack reboots as cryptocurrency company.
Now, Radio Shack, of course, probably went out of business at one point. I know at least in Newmarket, where I grew up, all of the Radio Shacks were immediately replaced with The Source. So I don't know if, if the company was bought by The Source by Circuit City and then kind of rebranded so they were able to keep all their brick and mortar locations. Or if the Radio Shack was just gone and The Source kind of zoomed in at the right time. Now, Radio Shack converting to a cryptocurrency thing is so far not on the nose. Not only is it a forgotten medium, radio, but now you're trying to convert it with a brand new medium that young people are buying. Young people don't remember Radio Shack. The old people who remember Radio Shack aren't buying crypto, so why keep the name at all? Now it's just almost like it'd be like Blockbuster coming out with a new streaming service. The old people are like, well, I remember Blockbuster. The young people, they have fucking Hulu, so they don't need another one. New crypto's all the rage now, though. Ricky Wysocki, the best disc golfer on the planet, signed a new contract where he received a $250,000 signing bonus in Bitcoin.
Crypto.com? Oh, okay.
No, he got a signing bonus in Bitcoin. Of course, the Staples Center has been rebranded to the Crypto.com Arena. So it's not crazy. I'm going to say it's a headline.
This is a headline for all the reasons that you stated, Cam. So you were saying that why would a Radio Shack, which Doomers, and you know what the term Doomers is?
I don't. No, you've said it twice now today.
Yeah, so Doomers are the Gen Zers, the newest generation that think that everything's going to collapse. So it's the newest generation, and instead of being Boomers, they're Doomers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, they definitely don't care about Radio Shack, but they understand crypto on their own. Old guys who know Blockbuster go, I don't understand shit about crypto, I'll tell you that. But I do know something about Radio Shack, and shit, that pair of headphones that I got back there in 96, they're still working, and I trust that name. So they're trying to bridge that gap for older, wealthy people like CEOs who don't know anything about this by having a reputable brand that is known for the technology, which they knew from the collapse before the 2015 or 2017 bankruptcy. They're trying to go based on their name brand itself and trying to help out those older folks. Exactly with what you said, just kind of flipping it on its head. So that's a headline.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm full of it.
You're full of these ones. Okay, Cam, here we go for you. Headliner Asinine, European Union officials looking to reverse the Nuremberg Code.
The Nuremberg Code was the you can't torture people, right?
Yes, results of the kind of World War II, Germany experimenting on people. Yeah.
And they're trying to reverse the code. Yeah, I'm going to say, wait, so which country again? Give me that.
I said European Union officials.
Okay, so this is one of those headlines where what I'm thinking is there's probably some weird language in there that says that you can't do something to terrorists, and we all know that enhanced interrogation techniques is not torture. But, some laws are a little bit fuzzy on that, like the Nuremberg Code. So if we can just make a few little tiny tweaks around there and maybe get a little bit of data every now and then and maybe just put some bags over people's head and it's not torture. It's enhanced interrogation techniques. So I assume it's just a little bit of a correction they're trying to make, not trying to rewrite the whole thing. They're like, we don't support torture. We do want to get the truth out of people. Just enhance the way that we communicate with them. That's a headline, Cam.
Cam, that one's asinine.
Fuck. I wouldn't be surprised, though. I mean,
maybe not.
You know how governments work. Who's ever read a document from the government. They're several thousand pages. No one's ever read it.
I don't know, that Charter of Rights and Freedoms that Canada has. I'm pretty sure it's like
ever
one
read it.
page.
No one's read it.
Okay.
Have you read it?
Probably once as a kid.
Nope. Do you remember every word? I don't think so.
No, I remember Pierre Trudeau doing pirouettes behind the Queen when she signed it. I think that photo is the more memorable part of the entire Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
What's a pirouette?
Yeah, it's like a ballerina thing, when they put their hands above their head and they're spinning.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's something. Headline or Asinine Cam. Taco Bell is selling a $10 monthly taco subscription.
Monthly taco subscription. I guess it was only a matter of time before food became the new subscription service, right? I guess my question would be, what, because if you spend your Netflix subscription, you get everything the Netflix has to offer for that one price, and you get to watch it as often as you want. With a food subscription like this, like they have like the good food boxes that you can subscribe to, and you get one every couple days or a week or whatever, and it has your meals, but it is finite. So I'd be curious about a taco subscription. Can you walk in and ask for as many tacos as you want? Is it a per daily thing? Hey, you can get 5 tacos a day. You can come every day, but you only get 5, and that's going to be scanned, or we're going to punch your card or whatever it is. So it was only a matter of time. Now, keep in mind, if you're getting a taco subscription from Taco Bell, you're not getting the creme de la creme of tacos. No, you're probably getting a little, like one of those kind of half tortilla shapes that's, like the small ones with a little bit of rice, a little bit of meat, and a lot of diarrhea. You have to be at a point in your life where you love shitting so much, you want to pay $10 a month to shit all the time. That's a headline.
That is a headline, Cameron. I think you pretty much nailed it on the head with even less than 5 tacos a day. With $10, you can get 1 taco per day for 30 days. The national program in America is called the Taco Lovers Pass, and it's not just your standard taco. They have potato tacos. They have a bunch of different tacos available to you, really with the intent of getting you in the store, because no one's going for 1 taco, especially someone that's buying the membership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
By the way, it's a huge success.
Big success. Yeah, nobody's nobody's sitting there, I mean, you'd have to be very close to a Taco Bell. It'd have to be in your vicinity. Definitely an American thing. I mean, I can even think I live close to a pretty, busy intersection, and I couldn't tell you where the closest Taco Bell to my house is. Probably at least a 10-minute drive, where maybe in the States, I feel like they're around every corner, They're kind of like Tim Hortons for us.
Yeah, I think there's one in Kitchener or one in Waterloo. It's beside or it's attached to a KFC.
Yeah, because they're in bed together. Yeah, there was one in Newmarket, and it was on the other side of Newmarket. So I've been to Taco Bell maybe twice in my whole fucking life, and I know I'm not missing much.
No, you're not.
Okay, Cam, I got one more here for you. Headline or Asinine, Icelandic app warns you if you're dating your relative.
Oh. Well, Iceland, notorious for not letting migrants in. This doesn't surprise me at all. If you didn't know this, very, very difficult to get a visa to immigrate to Iceland. The Nordic countries do not like people coming in there. They're like, come visit, great. We don't want you here. Which is funny because when the U.S. or Canada is like, we don't want refugees, everyone gets up in arms. When it's Finland or Sweden doing it, they're like, those silly Finns, they go play hockey all the time, right? No one seems mad about this, but this obviously causes problems with incest. Next thing you know, it's your cousin you're dating, not your sister's friend's cousin, which is also your cousin. So this doesn't surprise me at all when these countries that don't allow more people to come in from abroad. Actually, I learned this the other day, Cam. Did you know that you're not allowed to donate, or in some states, you're only allowed to donate sperm in twice per county or something like that?
Okay.
And the reason being that a lot of people stay in their same hometown. So if you're donating and then that relative, you say, I'm anonymous, I donate the sperm, then they birth and they stay in the same town, it just creates a bunch of incest problems.
Right.
Fun fact. Also, a way that you can't just try and make your money based on selling sperm. Yeah, so I think this is definitely an issue that they're probably facing with, and I think that's a headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. This is a story from the small island country of Iceland, who only has a population of about 370,000. And apparently dating is getting harder and harder. Now, we've all heard of the story. You go to a family reunion, and then, it turns out, like, oh, hey, wait, we went on a date once. Wait, we have the same aunt? Wait, what?
You've heard this story?
No.
I've never heard this story.
No, but apparently it was a story that was large enough in Iceland that some people had to do something about it with such a small population. And like you said, very, very few immigrants migrating to the very cold climate. The population is running out of new people to date. So here comes the Icelandasia app. Icelandasia. I'm not saying that right, probably designed to help avoid swiping right into a little bit of incest. Bump the app before you bump in bed, the developers are telling you. Due to the small population size and direct lineage back 1,200 years to the times of the Vikings, almost the entire population's genealogy is on record. 98% of Iceland's full genealogy runs back to approximately the year 800. So far, there are almost 50,000 downloads on the app since it came out, with a couple little things to it. So you have to be an Icelandic citizen to access it. It operates through the government in some kind of way. And when you do, you have access to the entirety of Iceland's genealogy library, where you can type in a name and the app will let you know how far away you may, or hopefully not, are related to somebody. The app developers are hoping that the rest of the world don't start thinking Iceland is all about incest, because it's always just better to know.
I guess not something that I've had to concern myself about, but maybe I should get a check.
We should
Get
all
your
check
STDs
it out.
checked and just get.
We should all check it
Are
out.
you dating your sister?
Are you dating your sister? Yeah, or at least a second cousin.
Yeah, at least worst case scenario, second cousin. All right, Cam, I think that ends our time here. Thank you all for listening.
That was the time. Yeah, you're right, Cam. This was 101. This was a lot of fun. Very excited. We break off that next hundo. Can't wait for episode 200. You can rate, review, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. Leave us a voice note. Leave us an email. And twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Who knows? Your voice could be heard live on the air.
Live on air. And never forget, folks, if you're ever in the situation where you kill a polar bear, if you eat the liver, you will die. I'm Cam LeClaire, signing off.
Take care, folks!
Continuing
Tonight on Two Seas in a Pod, 96.7 on your... Two C's in a pod, 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 two C's just like two C's in a pod, two C's because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.